James is in Evansville, Indiana. Hi, James. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Pretty good.
Good. What's up?
I have a college planning question. My wife and I have 5 young daughters, ages 10 to 13 months, and we have 529 plans and are contributing the max for the tax incentive of $2,500. We're now in a point in our life where we could be applying more, but what does that look like for having 5 kids and here in about 8 years having one go off to college?
Yeah. Well, about 5 years. No, 8 years. I'm sorry. No, yeah. Okay. All right. No, it's more like 13. Wait a minute.
10.
You got it. Yeah,
10 is
10
the
years.
oldest.
Oh, there it is. 10 years. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I couldn't try to look at these numbers. I wrote it down. I couldn't find them. All right. So, what it amounts to is you need to be putting in more for the 10-year-old than you do the 13-month-old. Because the 13-month-old's got a lot of time to grow in that account. And so, who have you got your 529s with? You got an advisor?
Yes, we have an advisor. We've got about 17,000 that it's grown
In
right
each?
now for that 10-year-old. No.
For the 10-year-old. Okay. What I would do is sit down with
for
the
that
advisor and make sure that the money is invested in the 529 in good growth stock mutual funds that have a good track record first. If it is, then I would ask them to tell you, okay, in order for the 10-year-old in 8 years to have X number of dollars, what have we got to add to that account? In order for the next one to add, in so many years, what have we got to add to that account? And it might end up that you're putting, I'll just make up numbers, you might end up putting $3,000 or $4,000 in the 10-year-olds, and you might end up putting $500 in the 13-month-old. And they'll end up with the same amount.
Okay.
Because you got started later on the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And so you didn't have as many years for the money to grow. So it's kind of like life. Equal is not fair.
Yeah, they've already been told that.
Yeah, equal's not fair. Fair is not equal. And so, if you've got a special needs little brother, little sister, we're going to give more money and make sure that that child is taken care of. Equal is not fair. Fair is not equal. Fair is what you have at the county.
Is there a magic sauce for about what should be put in to be able to fully fund them?
Well, what you need to do is just determine what your goal is, your goal amount, and you say, okay, as an example, they're going to go to in-state schools. They're in Evansville, Indiana. They're going to go to the University of Indiana, okay, or Indiana University.
Okay.
All right, and you call them and go, what's it cost to go there, and what are your projections on your tuition 8 years from today? And they tell you it's going to take $150,000 to go there with room and board 8 years from now. And for 4 years, and I'm making up numbers. I don't know, okay? Today tuition is about $10,000 plus room and board per year for an in-state school average nationally. And so you're probably going to find somewhere around the $10,000 number per year, so that's $40,000 plus if they're going to stay in a dorm and eat. Okay, so I'm going to guess and say they can go for $100,000 8 years from now. That's maybe 125, but you can actually get the number from the university, bother them a little bit, or wherever you think you want them to go to school, and then you can back into the actual goal with your advisor. They can put it into a financial calculator and go, okay, in order to do that, you need to save $2,642 a month or $2,642 a year. They can tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get there. Once you have that goal and you have the time period, it's a financial calculation at that point. It's a math formula that goes into a financial calculator, and you can back into it. So, but you need a target, not just, so far your target has been, we want to save for college. And it was very vague. But if you really want to do it perfectly and you want to know when you're done, this is how we did it. Okay, what we did was we said I want $100,000 per kid. and I backed it out for a 4-year-old. And I said, in order to do that today, I need X in there. And I had made some money that year, and I just put X in there, and then I was done. That account was over. I never added to it again. Never had to. I put enough in there that it was going to grow for the 4-year-old in 14 years to this much. So when Daniel Ramsey got ready to go to school, there was $100,000 in there for him, and it was ready to go. And we just picked out a number. But you need to, if you want to be really nerdy about it, and I do recommend that, if you know what your goal is, you can back into your numbers exactly.
I've got a question about the scholarship side of things, because I know with 529s, like it's specifically for school. If you save all this money and then your kids are just get a ton of scholarships, what do they do with that money?
100% of what they get in scholarships can be removed tax-free.
What now?
If you got $100,000 in there and you get $40,000 in scholarships, you can take $40,000 out and then no taxes on it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. You just have to prove that. You just have to prove the scholarships if you're audited is all.
I didn't know that.
So you can remove it, and you've had tax-free growth on your money in a 529.
Wow. That's cool.
It's wonderful. So
because it incentivizes the child to get scholarships and that type of thing, and
they got
do
money.
well.
It's free money.
Totally. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
That's
I mean, they go buy a house with it when they get out of college.
I didn't realize
it's
that. That's
a pretty cool thing. You're setting up millionaire stuff here.
Yeah.
Setting your kid up to be a millionaire before they're 30. Because if they come out of school with $100,000 or $150,000 and no student loan debt, and they go get a job making 70 or whatever they're making these days, right, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, 22 years old and you're making that, and you got zero debt, and you already have a paid-for house. Ding ding.
Yeah.
You're a millionaire by the time you're 30.
Yeah.
And the number, it's just compound interest. It's just running the math out. And so what he's doing there, the way he's planning, he's thinking about it. He's got a little baby, 13 months, and this baby's going to go to college. But once you dial all that in, and then you see what the next layer of effect of that is, and the next layer of that effect, it gets rowdy.
Right.
And when we talk about you changed your family tree, you really did change your family tree. It's real. Yeah. Really happened.